All right, so BobbethTV is live. You know what that means. Just as I get my shit sorted, there we go. All right, we are live for another episode. Oh, there goes my radio, my alarm. Turn that off. We are live. We are here for the Aussie Sim Racing's Gen 3 V8 Supercars. We're at Oran Park Raceway in Narellan, Australia. And we are here for, I believe, the third last round. I thought I looked up the schedule earlier today. I thought it was Bathurst, but I think I looked at the wrong thing. So I'm just going to go back and double check that. I think what I did was I looked at season 3, not season 5. Because there's 3 races. Counting this one, there's 3 races left in the season. No, there's 4. Sorry, we've got Oran Park tonight, 20% fuel. Sebring International next week. Algarve International and the Bend International as well coming up. So some good racing still to come. They're just going to flick on over from practice into qualifying in just a moment. So let's get the pretty screen going. And yes, as I say, we're at Oran Park Raceway. Now, this one is it's operated near Narellan, southwest of Sydney. It's been around since about 1962 until it was closed in 2010. It has hosted 2 Australian Grand Prix, 1974 and in 1977, numerous V8 Supercar round, Superbike World Championship races, and endurance events. So it's a pretty decent track, steeped in Australian racing history. Originally, it was 1.6 kilometres, was extended to 2.6 kilometres. To create the iconic Grand Prix layout that we'll be racing on tonight, and it does include a figure 8 crossing bridge. Now, as a track configuration, 2.6 miles with 12 turns and a figure 8 layout. Now, driving the Grand Prix layout in our racing, so cornering and braking, turn 1 requires late braking from high speed. The mid-sector with champion chicane and your longer close demands precise entry and throttle control. The final sweeping corners will reward exit speed onto the start finish straight. Let's see here. All right, so we'd look to see a lot of that aero grip is lost. So drivers rely heavily on mechanical grip, which makes throttle modulation, brake entry, and corner apex control far more critical. You can't just rely on grip and air to keep you going. Braking, so the shorter distances due to the lower weight, but accuracy is a key. So braking tasks are harder without ABS or TC aids, traction control aids. Now cornering, Oran Park's mid-sector, so champion chicane, your longer close, we mentioned those earlier, demands precision through tight transitions. Reduced downforce amplifies oversteer under load. Now, exit speed from turn 12 onto the long start finish straight is vital. Less aero means momentum counts more. Now, I just noticed we don't have a track map. Let me just see if I've done something there. No, we don't have the track map. We don't have any times on the board yet. And finally, steering input must be smooth. Any jitter or abrupt adjustments unsettle the Gen 3 chassis, and blipping on downshift remains essential to avoid that rear lockup. All right, let's see. We've got a few guys out there on the track. We've got a lot of guys out there on the track. A few names that seem to be a little bit new. Jump on over to the chat. Make sure I've got that on the screen. All right, starting with those times. Starting to come in there. 107.688 QuickTime Tim Nickel. Jeff Price is there with a 108.206, 108.291 for Stephen Varga. Here's our, I believe our points leader, or is that Luke? We have Jacob Smith and Jacob Fraser In the top 5, Matteo Manelli, Ben Mead, Luke Page, Ram Jam, Potter Cliff just outside the top 10 with Wade George. Brock Clark's there as well. Is this on our screens? Oh, that's the tradie energy machine, no track limits of Ash Rogers. Oh, I need to wake up a little bit. Right, Tim Nickel, 107.515. Still quick time. Steven Varga has moved up into second quickest with that 107.971. 107 seems to be the time to aim for. Jeff Price, Jacob Smith, Jacob Fraser still with the 108s in the top 5. In fact, the 108s go all the way back to 108.890. Ethan Curran, who I believe might be that man. No, that is a Vinicius Colho. I hope I say that well, proper Vinicius. That is not a name I'm common with. All right. Oh, I keep losing my screen. There it is. So still 2 cars. 19 cars have registered for tonight's V8 Supercar race here at Oran Park. We have 17 qualified. Stuart Patterson and Carl Brittingham still yet to get out on the track. But Tim Nickel quickest. Stephen Varga second quickest so far. Third quickest, Jeff Price. Sam Tucker and Jacob Smith, 4th and 5th. Jacob Fraser currently sitting in 6th. 7th, Matteo Manelli. Ben Mead and Luke Page, 8th and 9th. Ethan Curran in 10th. Brock Clark and Cliff Ram Jam Potter in 11th and 12th. David Jansen's qualified 13th. Wade Georgeson 14th. 15th, Jade Andrews. 16th, Ash Rogers. Vinicius Colho. I hope I'm saying that. Coelho. Vinicius. And I hope I'm saying that part correctly. If anyone's in the chat knows the 14 car, 17th place, let me know. Yeah. All right, we're just about to wrap up. We do have 3 races here tonight, 3 rounds, 3 heats. No, 2 heats. 2 heats and a consi. So we'll start off with our first 27 lap heat. And then we will run a consi with an invert finish. And then the starting order of that one will determine our final 27 lap feature race here tonight. So a bit of a double header racing as we move our way into the halfway mark of the Gen 3 V8 Supercars Season 5 Championship. I will just confirm, I believe Luke Fallon is our current points leader, but have not seen him on the sign-up board tonight. So looks like that points gap may actually be able to be closed a little bit. Let's get our top 5 in points for this competition. All right, standings, here we go, guys and girls. So obviously in, it's Varga. It's not Luke, it's Vargs. That's right. So in 5th place, Jacob Matthew Smith. In 4th, Matteo Manelli. Currently coming in 3rd, Stuart Patterson. In 2nd, Justin Penfather. Stuart Patterson and Justin Penfather 1 point away from each other. And then on 500, and that's on 445 and 446 on 529 points with the current season leader, Stephen Varga, as we line up for our first of 2 heats. Let's get our grid up on our screen here. Let's try and see if the camera's going to cooperate. – right, Tim Nickel, Stephen Varga, front row. Jeff Price, Sam Tucker will be second row. Third row is going to be Jacob Smith and Jacob Fraser. Matteo Manelli and Ben Mead on that fourth row. Fifth row, Luke Page and Ethan Curran. Brock Clark and Cliff Ramjam Potter on that sixth row. And I'm never ready to go to the next lot of rows when I get there. There we go. All right. Seventh row is David Jansen and Wade Georgeson. Jade Andrews and Ash Rogers on that eighth row, sorry. Ninth row, Vinicius Colho and Stuart Patterson and Cole Bringham will be on that 20th and final row. Why have we lost cams? There we go. We're just waiting on Vinicius to line up. Let's see if he's still in the session, in fact. Yeah, it says he's connected. All right, while we wait that out, I'm just going to grab a drink from the bench. Give me a second. All right, sorry about that. The missus got a little bit excited about something. We have got a quantum package 1 and 2 with Stephen Varga and Tim Nickel off the start here. Behind them, Sam Tucker, Jacob Smith, and Ben Mead. Let's get the best times crap off the screen. That's making it a little bit look horrible. There we go. A couple of guys went off track at the start. So as we get this going, let's have a look. Looks like David Jansen, Wade Georgeson. First two casualties of the race start. Let's watch this one play out. Oh, just a little bit of an off track there. Nothing crazy. We had Jacob Fraser and Jeff Price as well. A bit of contact there off the start as those two just pushed off the track as they find their position. Vinicius as well. There he is there in the green and yellow Fanatec machine. Just did not make the turn. Has jumped to the pits. Cole Brigham also, there's a number of people look like they have a little bit of trouble with the start of this race as he goes off track. All right, let's jump back to the live cams now, though. Wish we the ever struggle battle with the track map not working when it doesn't, like sometimes it doesn't work in heaps. Other times it'll just decide to work, but no track map at this stage. So we can't really sort of keep an eye on where everyone is in terms of battles. We have to use the leaderboard. So we will do our best to jump back to any crashes and things that do occur. I need that first. Ethan Curran got Matteo Manelli, it looks like just up ahead of him. Behind him, Jacob Fraser, that's 6th, 7th, and 8th. But you can see the great Fanta machine of Jacob Smith, Ben Mead just ahead of them as well. Oh, it's the Game of Fuel card. I think there might have been a little tap there by the Rockstar car, but luckily able to drift it through the turns there. Stuart Patterson, Panda getting the job done, keeping himself in this battle. No, it's Ethan Curran. That's Stuart Patterson up ahead of him. Behind them is Cliff Ramjam Potter. See Brock Clark as well, it looks like. Might just come into the left of the screen briefly. The Mitre 10 blue and yellow. fake pit lane entrances there. Looks like the guys just sort of cutting across the entrance as they come around the turns, and the system getting a bit confused. So Gash Rogers went off track. Not a great camera angle for that. There it is there. Let's go back and have a look. Just lost traction. Racing through the laps. We're on lap 4 of 27. This will be our first of 2 feature races here tonight. Twin 27-lap feature battles. Ethan Curran just going off track a little bit there. Nothing crazy. We will have a small consi race in the middle. T-Rex in the chat. Panda from the back making moves. Yeah, he had that little bit of a... I thought it was Panda, but I think it was Ethan, where he had a little bit of a... I don't know if there was a tap. It might have been netcode, but he got a little wide coming around the turn. But drifted it beautifully, kept it going, and kept himself in the position and kept running. I think Stewart might have got by him, so for 8th and 9th. But other than that, yeah, it was a well held. There was a little bit of contact between him and the Rockstar machine, the Jacob Fraser car. Looks like we had a few little mini battles going on across the field. We'll try and keep up with all of them as we can. We still see the Quantum Peckies team, Stephen Varga and Tim Nickel, 1 and 2. They were in the background of the screen as the boys were coming up the track. There they just are up to the top left there. Matteo Manelli off track. He's not going to get the traction to make that left-hand turn there, so just going to have to get on the brakes, get the car back on the track as quickly as possible. That's going to allow Ethan Curran to race up on him. Not sure what's happened there, but he's moved up into 7th, whereas Stuart Patterson fallen back to 10th, Ram Jam in 9th, and Ethan Curran in 8th, battling Matteo Manelli. Oh, looked like he was about to take the pit lane run. Oh, no! Oh, no! Looked like Ram Jam Potter just got, Cliff Potter got hit in the rear, sent off track. So Cliff Potter getting the meatball for that one, so he is most certainly going to have to head to the pits. Looks like he's got there now. He's towed. He's towed himself to the pits, so that'll take him out of contention for a lap or two. All right, and back to the race. Lap 7 of 27. Only 8 minutes in, almost, and we are very much a fourth of the way into this first of 2 27-lap main events. The track limits proving to be a little bit of a concern for the cars. Obviously not as aerodynamic as a lot of the other cars. You are relying a lot more on the engine braking and your actual braking. Pardon me. So some of those guys, yeah, just understeering those turns just a little bit. Riding along with Jacob Smith there in 5th place. Ben Mead just ahead of him. One of those cars just getting off track. Looks like that is Vinicius back there in 18th. 2 laps down at the moment. one of the newest drivers in the league. So we do welcome you over, brother. Hopefully you settle in. Here we have the Game of Fuel lads, the SSI, if I'm not mistaken, T-Rex. The SSI boys, Ethan Curran and Stuart Patterson. Here we see Jay. This is, who is this? This is Brock Clark. That's not Brock Clark. That's, it's Vinicius, Jade Andrews, and Cole Brittingham. I was like, what the heck? It looked a bit weird, but no, Vinicius is a lap down, so that's why we don't have track map at the moment. So it is not really sort of giving us a great idea of who is where. But Cole Brittingham and Jade Andrews is going to continue that battle. Looks like Jeff Price back there in the 62 machine, getting past Vinicius as well. ISS, that's it, Iridium Sim Sports. Thank you. I'm so sorry. I should write these down. I do have a little notebook, but I just don't know where it is at the moment. I've been a bit slack this week. See a lot of the different parts of the track as we come down through the middle section there. See some cars coming along the back stretch, some cars sort of up ahead of these boys. Just a bit of traffic everywhere. Good view coming around to the start finish line off turn 12 there. He's going to have the run down the run to the run down to the run. That's terrible wording, Bob. The run down to turn 1 here. Jade Andrews also on debut, I believe. Might be coming into the turn a little bit hard. No, onto the brakes well. It's going to keep Jeff Price and Cole Brittingham right there behind them. Now, I wonder if 20% fuel means 2 stops. Or if 20% fuel is simply 1 stop. We'll have to wait and see, I guess. Stephen Varga, Tim, Nickel, Sam Tucker, Ben Mead, Jacob Smith, still the top 5. Jacob Fraser, Ethan Curran, Stuart Patterson, Matteo Manelli, and Brock Clark, the top 10. Jade Andrews, Cole Brittingham, Jeff Price, Wade Georgeson, and David Jansen will be the top 15, and Ash Rogers, Luke Page, Ramjam, Potter, Cliff Potter, and Vinicius Coelho. Vinicius in 18th and 19th. Another bit of a crash. Cole Brittingham taking a very big shortcut as the 46 and the 414 come into contact. Sorry, the 414 and the 62 come into contact. Alright, sorry, I'm a little bit beat this weekend. Try and wake up. I've had a coffee. I've got the kettle on the boil now. I've got a blue V here. Hopefully I will liven up soon. David Jansen there in the OH machine, 11th place. That's Jade Andrews right there behind him. Wade Georgeson up ahead. Jeff Price currently in the pits. Let's just have a look at the pit lap. Okay, so there's been a few that have gone in at lap 11. Doesn't suggest the 20% fuel is more than a one stop though at this stage. Oh, looks like a couple of other cars heading in to the pits. So no, we would. Looks like it might be a double stop. That might be a halfway mark stop, and people can save a bit of fuel. But a lot of guys heading on in to the pits here. Everyone's stopping now, so it's going to make the rest of the race very interesting. Let's try and get to some of the track cars. See if we can get back out on the track here. The Game of Fuel car staying out. I think that's Stuart Patterson. It just came past. Looks like Stephen Varga, black flag, not sure what for. Could have been speeding in pit lane, could be an incident count. But him and Brock currently in the pits in second and third spot right now. Sam Tucker's going to move up into second. Tim Nicol, which is Stephen Varga's teammate, is going to continue on in the race lead. As we see Bugs in the pit. Ethan Curran just outside the top five here. Matteo Manelli behind him, but that is Jacob Smith just in front, as well as Jacob Fraser. It looks like Ben Mead as well. Wasting a little time getting around those lap traffic cars. That's Jade Andrews, and I believe Luke Page, another debut driver on our track here, currently running in 13th and 14th there. Looks like Ash Rogers in the Trade Energy machine just behind them. Oh, a bit hungry, just went from dinner to cook in the oven. There's Ash Rogers following Jade Andrews. Oh, looks like Jade spun out a little bit there, following him through the turn 12 turn onto the start-finish line. And unfortunately, Jade Andrews spinning out there. Ash going to move up a spot into 14th. Wade Georgeson there, he's currently in 12th with Luke Page behind him. David Jansen just up ahead. I believe everybody has now completed the pit stop to get some more fuel. Only 20% fuel in this heat. Yeah, so Cliff Ramjam Potter may need to revisit. But oh, side by side, Wade Georgeson, Luke Page. Looks like Wade able to pull it up a bit cleaner. Luke in to the wall off the grass there. Ethan Curran's made his way into the top five there. He's got, that's not Jacob Smith behind him, I don't believe. I believe that's the 14 of Vinicius Colho. I still don't know how to say that. I'm Still sort of not decided on it. Oh, here comes my foods. Thank you. Evening, dude, says Shrub God in the Twitch. Evening, Shrub God. Actually, I still haven't got around to working out why my shout-outs aren't working, but give Shrub God a follow. Does some awesome content. Welcome in, buddy. I haven't heard the Shrub music yet. I think Ethan Carroll must have come off track there. It doesn't show on the telemetry. I did see the yellow flag pop up. Might have been a bit of contact. He's managed to hold on to that top 5 spot with Jacob Fraser, Ben Mead, Sam Tucker, Tim Nickel ahead of him. Jacob Smith, Matteo Minelli, Stuart Patterson, Brock Clark, Carl Brigham, the 6 to 10. 11 to 15's Wade Georgeson, David Jansen, Ash Rogers, Luke Page, and Stephen Varga. Jeff Price, Ram Jam Potter, and Vinicius Collier in 16, 17, 18s. We did have 19 drivers registered. Jade Andrews on debut has unfortunately retired. And we'll see the rest of the race out. Just had an ad for Logitech Racing Pedals. They're tailing ads for you now. Wicked. That'd be cool. Hey, Twitch, if you want to reach out for some sort of streaming ad deal, I'm happy to talk. All right, just going to mute myself for one moment while I take a quick bite of this slice of pizza. I won't be long. All right, a very hot slice of pizza. Holy cow. All right, looks like we've got a couple more guys heading on into the pits. Jeff Price is there. Carl Brittingham, Stuart Patterson. Cliff Potter, I imagine, will also need to visit the pits before the end of the next 8 laps. He did go in quite early. 6th lap, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. I knew I was looking at something, but easily distracted. All right, looked like Tim Nickel had to enter pit lane. That has given us a very drastically different top 5. Sam Tucker, Jacob Fraser, Ethan Curran, Jacob Smith, and Matteo Minelli, the current top 5. Let's have a look and see where Sam is. Oh, he is coming up on the end of his lap almost. So we'll jump up to him. We're going to spend a lap. We do this traditionally with the leader, Sam Tucker. That's a new looking car there. But as he starts the 20th lap, we're going to jump on inside his car. I'm going to find cockpit cam. And we'll just do a lap with him. Won't be long. Lap 21 of 7, just 6 more laps in this first of two 27-lap feature races here tonight. We will have a short consi in the middle, 3 to 5 laps, I believe, just to decide the starting order for our final feature race here tonight. Jeez. Yeah, looks like Fifth Potter has been in and out of the pits there. Looks like the Trading Energy machine, Ash Rogers, also happened to pop back in. So I wonder if we'll see any others having to do so. But quite a very different race order than what we'd seen at the first half of this battle. Jade Andrews currently in 19th, has retired. Vinicius Collio in 18th. Cliff Ramjam Potter 17th. 16th, Jeff Price. Stephen Vargas currently in 15th. He hasn't been our race leader. He is our points leader as well. He's just moved up to 14th, pushed Ash Rogers back to 15th. Carl Brigham is in 13th. Stuart Patterson 12th. David Jansen in 11th. Wade Georgeson starts the top 10. 9th, Luke Page. Rock Clark and Ben Mead in 8th and 7th. No, Jacob Smith in 7th, 6th is Ben Mead. Tim Nichols, top 5. Matteo Minelli, 4th. Ethan Curran, 3rd. Jacob Fraser and Sam Tucker, 2nd and 1st. All right, looked like Sam Tucker's run has ended a little bit earlier than he wanted. He's dropped down to 5th because he's had to go to the pits there. Looks like some of those earlier pits are meaning 2 stops have been required. A lot of those were guys that stopped on lap 11. The current leaders stopped on lap 12. Will that one extra lap be enough to get them home? Only got about 5 minutes to find out. Looks like Ethan Curran and Matteo Minelli also had to go into the pits. They do have a bit of a lead over Sam Tucker in 5th. Well, I thought they did, but no, apparently they don't, as Sam Tucker moves up into 3rd, pushing and then back down from 4th and to 5th, back down to 4th and 5th, as does Ben Mead, 5th and 6th now. Will Tim Nick will be able to score the win for Quantum Pecky? Will Jacob Fraser hang on? Have they made the right calculations with fuel? A few more laps to go. Just 2 to go here. 26th and 27th laps still to come. So Tim Nichols got himself into that lead. Jacob Fraser did have to go into the pits. Do we have any more of those 12th lap of pitters? So Luke Page possibly, but yeah, it looks like lap 12 a little bit early. So that's going to give them a bit of a better idea in the second 27 lap feature on how they should save tyres, save fuel, and when they should pit. Mitre 10 car of Brock Clark. Up there in 6th. Ethan Curran just ahead of him. He's the top 5. That's the spot they want. Jacob Smith in the Great Phantom Machine behind him. Not a lot of a race left to go, though. So Jacob Smith's got that Phantom Machine up ahead of Brock Clark now. He'll become the meat in that Game of Fuel Mitre 10 sandwich. We drop back. That's Jacob Fraser there. He does have the Tradie Energy 3-1 at 12 car behind him, but he is a lap down in 13th. So not a part of the competition. White flag lap is a go. Let's get up to this man, Tim Nickel, Quantapecky Racing. Not the Quantapecky Racing points leader, Stephen Varga, but his teammate, Tim Nickel, is going to ensure that Quantum Racing on the podium here tonight. And they can reset, get back out there, and try again for the 1-2 in the second feature. As he gets that checkered flag. Just watching the final few cars sort of come around to those last turn 12 moments and get to that start finish line, finish this race off. The first of two. Still got a little bit of racing to go, Bob. We can't wish it away just yet. Pardon me, Piggy Bob. All right, just went on. Looks like Stuart Patterson, Colt Brittingham is our final car. Oh, there's a couple of others. Oh no, they're just crashing at the start there. There we go. All right, Heat 1's results. Finishing in 19th place will be, of course it doesn't show me, Jade Andrews. Then in 18th finishes Collier, Ram Jam Potter 17th, Jeff Price 16th, David Jansen 15th, Wade Georgeson in 14th, 13th, Ash Rogers and Luke Page in 12th, Stephen Varga in 11th, 10-6, Cole Brittingham, Stuart Patterson, Matteo Manelli, Brock Clark and Jacob Smith. Ethan Curran is our top 5, Jacob Fraser 4th. Our podium finishes Ben Mead in 3rd, Sam Tucker 2nd, but our winner of Heat 1 was Tim Nicol. Let's get over to the grid for our quick Consi race. It's going to be Jade Andrews and Vinicius Guy on the front row, Ram Jam Potter and Jeff Price on the second row, David Jansen and Wade Georgeson on that third row. Fourth row is going to be Ash Rogers and Luke Page. Stephen Varga and Cole Brigham on that fifth row. Sixth row is going to be Stuart Patterson and Matteo Minnelli. Brock Clark and Jacob Smith on that seventh row. Eighth row is going to be Ethan Curran and Jacob Fraser. Ben Mead and Sam Tucker on that ninth row, and Tim Nicol on that 10th and final row. This is going to be a short lap Consi. Short lap count, Consi. Let's get up to the leader, Bob. Here we go. So same deal, 20% fuel, only, I think, 5 laps. Okay, so only 5 laps. So won't need a pit stop at all. This is literally just going to be a dash. Let's try and see if we can catch any of the crashes as they happen. Oh, there's our first there. That one, it looks like David Jansen and I'm not sure. Wade Georgeson is there. Luke Page, Panda. This is going to be a quick 5-6 minute dash here. Actually, I might just quickly smash some dinner, so we'll just say this. All right, we'll just do that. It's going to take a quick break. Just smash some food, smash this drink. And yeah, I'll be back in like a couple of minutes. As we settle in for almost the last lap. About the halfway mark of this track. Jeff Price, our current race leader. Stephen Varga in second. Tim Nicol third. Ram Jam Potter and Jacob Fraser fourth and fifth. Ethan Curran, Matteo Manelli, Luke Page, Ash Rogers, and Cole Brittingham are currently in the 6 to 10 spots. Brock Clark, Jacob Smith, and David Jansen are our 11th, 12th, and 13th spots. Looks like we've had Jade Andrews, Ben Mead, Sam Tucker, and Vinicius also retire out. So it looks like they won't be back for our final 27 lap finish. Wade Georgeson also looks like he's just wrapped it up. Stuart Patterson in the pits. So 13 to 14 car field for our feature race here tonight. On the white flag lap. Let's get up to Jeff Price, see if he can hold on there. Oh, it's Jeff Price in the 46 machine. 62 on the leaderboard, 42 on the 62 on the leaderboard, 46, sorry, on the screen. All he's got to do is hold on for this last turn. It's not often we don't see Stephen Varga on the winner's podium, but that's twice now. His teammate Tim Nichols took heat one. The Cruisey has just been won by Jeff Price. Can Vargas get something done in the feature race? 27 laps. We just wait for the rest of the guys to get to the finish line here. I think I ate some of that pizza too quick. I had indigestion. Oh my gosh. It's hard being me, guys. All right, I think we got the result. There we go. Consolation results. Try and get those. Oh, there's a 10-minute warm-up, so I could have had a break then, which I'm still going to do because I need to do something else. That doesn't need to be mentioned on broadcast because, you know, TMI and all. All right, 18th place. No, I'm going to have to go down one just because that is not right. There's one person there, and who is it? It's Sam Tucker. Sam Tucker in 19th. McPherson Machines, Ben Mead in 18th. Vinicius Colio in 17th. Jade Andrews 16th. Iridium Sim Sports, Stuart Patterson in 15th. Aussie Sim Racing driver Wade Georgeson in 14th. David Jansen 13th. Brock Clark 12th. Jacob Smith 11th. And Cole Brittingham in 10th. Track Limit Racing's Ash Rogers in 9th. Luke Page and Matteo Manelli 8th and 7th. Iridium Sim Sports driver Ethan Curran in 6th. Jacob Fraser in 5th. Cliff Ramjam Potter for Aussie Sim Racing in 4th. Quantum Pecky Racing's Tim Nickel and Stephen Vargas 3rd and 2nd. But our winner here in the consolation, Jeff Price. I don't think any cars have gone out on the track yet. Nope, not yet. Hell Reaper, what a rubbish track. It looks like a lot of fun. It looks like a lot of fun, but a lot of you guys just, yeah, aerodynamics not working for you. So carrying a little bit of understeer, sorry, through the turns. A little bit of contact here and there. Ten-minute warm-up session. We have 2 minutes in, 8 minutes remain. It's a good chance for the drivers to jump into the chat and say hello like Hell Reaper has. Ash Rogers out on the track. Also a good time for them to stretch their legs, get some drinks, maybe have a quick cigarette if you're so inclined. Check in with the family. All right, looks like a couple of cars appearing in the pits, so it looks like they might get out for a little bit of a warm-up. That is this Panda, Stuart Patterson. Ben Mead, I hate this track. Half throttle everywhere, says Hellreaper. When you get comfortable and decide to plan it early, it spins. It's just not designed for the Gen 3, says Walker. And yeah, Ben over at YouTube, the grip is Bluetooth, honestly. Well, the track hasn't, I mean, realistically, in real life, the track hasn't been used in, what, 15 years? And yeah, racing technology has grown exponentially in that time. All right, I'm going to have a quick 5-minute break. Well, not a 5-minute break, but a couple-minute break. I will be back as soon. Just do a short message. right, with less than a minute to go in warm-ups, not a single car completed a full lap. So we don't have any test times or anything to work from. We know that some of the guys obviously are going to reevaluate their pit stops after sort of the late pits that were required. So we'll see how that works out for people. But just about get ready to throw over to our final race of the evening, the 27-lap feature battle. This will be for the Aussie Sim Racing League, the Gen 3 V8 Supercars. The halfway point, 4 races in. This is our 5th race. Only 3 more to come before we decide a champion. Right now, Stephen Varga is the points leader, but not able to get up the too high up the podium here tonight. So that might help that gap. All right, checkered flag. We are getting ready to wrap this one up and get on over. All right, our final grid for the night was decided by that Cruisey race. Jeff Price and Stephen Varga will battle on the front row. Tim Nicol and Cliff Ramjam Potter on that second row. Third row is going to be Jacob Fraser and Ethan Curran. Fourth row, Matteo Manelli and Luke Page. Fifth row is going to be Ash Rogers and Cole Brittingham. Sixth row is going to be Jacob Smith and Brock Clark. David Jansen and Wade Georgeson will be on that 7th row. Behind them on that 8th row, Stuart Patterson and Jade Andrews. Vinicius Collier and Ben Mead will qualify on the 9th row, and Sam Tucker on that 10th row. But I believe some of those guys will not be lining up. Sam Tucker has, so some of them will. We'll have to wait and see. All right, because not all the cars are registered for the race or still in the race, the timer will delay out a little bit. I do believe Tim Nicol, Brock Clark. Well, Tim Nichol's just lined up. Brock Clark, we're just waiting on him there. He is. Jade Andrews, Vinicius, and Ben Mead, I believe, have retired. So the timer should consider that shortly. All right, here we go. Looks like we're about to get this one underway. I think camera 2 was the good wide starting one. There we go. We get a good view of them coming down that start finish line. Keep on the telemetry, keep an eye on the track. As Stephen Varga races his way into the race lead before the first turn. So Jeff Price back there in second alongside Jacob Fraser, Ethan Curran and Tim Nichols behind them in 4th and 5th. Then we've got Cliff Ramjam Potter, Ash Rogers, Matteo Manelli, Luke Page and Sam Tucker rounding out the 6 to 10. Cole Brittingham, Stuart Patterson, Jacob Smith and Wade Georgeson, David Jansen, 11 to 15. Brock Clark back there in 16th, 17th, 18th, and 19th already locked in. Jade Andrews, Ben Mead, and Vinicius Collier not racing the rest of tonight's battle. Lap 2 of 27. 27 laps. Sounds like a lot, but here at Oran Park, you're looking at around a minute 7, a minute 17 at most for a lap. in a general sense. Still stuck on Stephen Varga from the start. Let's get that sorted. Try and jump around the track a little bit. Yeah, obviously it's a minute or so a lap, and it is over as quickly as it begins. Oran Park, not a long track. All right, we are back again tomorrow morning as well, 9:45 a.m. Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday mornings for the Knuckleheads iRacing Leagues racing action. We'll have the dirt street stocks and the UMP modifieds tomorrow. So if you do like some dirt oval racing, come and check that out as well. That one is an American league, hence the times. Oh, we saw that coming. I think it was Sam Tucker just got that nose in under Jacob Smith's rear and turned him a little bit, enough that sort of affected things, but not enough to cause a crash or anything. Barrel worm in the chat. It's Sunday night. That can only mean one thing. It's Monday tomorrow. No, wait. So two things then. It's Bob Live calling some more racing. How are you, brother? That's great. We are here with the Aussie Sim Racing League. We're in Narellan, Australia, actually. We're in an Australian track, Oran Park Raceway, for the Gen 3 V8 Supercars. This is our second of two 27-lap main events, feature races. Tim Nicol took out the first one. He is currently the man on our screens in third place there. Jeff Price was the winner of the Cruisey race. He is in second. Tim Nicol's teammate and current points leader, Stephen Varga, our race leader. He was the race leader in the first feature race, first 27-lap feature, but did have some issues, I think, with pits and traffic, and fell down the field a little bit. Oh, Lolly, thank you for the like over at the Facebook page. There we go. David Jansen, Nathan Curran just coming in a bit of contact there. Brock Clark's going to come past. He's going to move up into 14th. David's going to fall back into 15th. A little bit of contact between David and Ethan. Not enough to really upset the run, but just enough to stop that momentum build. Back there behind him, the Rockstar machine of... who is that? It's not Cliff Potter. Is it Jacob Fraser? It's Jacob Fraser. I'm an idiot. Lap 5 of 27. Less than 5 minutes into this race too. Everyone on lap 5, and now as they come through the big sweeper under the figure 8 bridge. Tess Rogers in 11th. That's Carl Brigham there in 12th. Behind him, Ethan Curran 13th. Looks like that's Brock Clark there in 14th as well. David Jansen not that far behind him either is Nor Wade George. Oh, look out, Carl Brigham got loose. Gets it onto the brakes, keeps it off the track though, out of the way of everyone else, which is the most important thing. Jump back up to the top 5 there. Jacob Fraser in 4th. Cliff Ramjam Potter in 5th. He does have Matteo Minelli right there in 6th. Very much an Australian league, as you can see by the flags on the leaderboard. We do have a couple of Kiwis. More than a couple. What do I count? 1, 2, 3. Oh, yeah. So a few. I thought there was more than that. But no, just the 3 Kiwis. But Matteo Minelli, our lone Italian, on the field. We do have a number of international drivers that drive with us. He's the only one here today, not counting the New Zealand boys. Number of non-oceanic drivers, I guess would be a way of putting it. Not a lot happening. Looks like Sam Tucker jumped to the pits. Looks like it was just an off track, not a crash, but not happy with how the car's performing, so he is centered back. Remembering last heat, the first heat, the guys pit around lap 11, lap 12. We are coming up on that mark very soon. Let's see if anyone goes a bit earlier because of that later pit, or whether they try and sort of drag it out a bit more as we start lap 8. Jeff Price there, 4th place. Started off in pole position after the win in the Consi. Has dropped 3 spots. Jacob Fraser started 5th, moved up 2 into 3rd. Tim Nichols, Stephen Barger, teammates have both moved up a slot each to be 1st and 2nd currently. Of 27, a third of the way in. Tim Nichols, Stephen Vargas, still that 1-2. Quantum Package Racing still in full control. Let's see if there's any other battles out there we can get an eye on here. I think Brock Clark and Ash Rogers is going to be a battle soon. Let's check this one out. Skash able to hold him off at this stage. Look at some lap times. Last lap 1:11.88 for Brock. It looks like. Sorry, 1:09.76, 1:09.88 for Ash Rogers. So Brock Clark is the slightly quicker driver lap time wise. Let's see if Brock off track. Sorry, Ash off track a little bit there. That's going to give Brock the closing distance he needed. Pardon me, a piggy, as they make 10-12 onto the start-finish line straight away for lap 10. Come back to that as we still have the 1-2 battle up the front. Vargs and Tim Nickel. Lost 4 drivers. We had 16 when we started this race. 3 were qualified for the battle, but did not take the field. We lost Sam Tucker 3 laps ago. So Vinicius Collio currently scored 19th, 18th, Jade Andrews, Ben Mead 17th, 16th is Sam Tucker. That leaves us with our racing field. 15th, David Jansen. Carl Brigham in 14th, 13th, Wade Georgeson with Brock Clark in 12th. 11th is Ash AJ Rogers. 10th, Ethan Carr and Stuart Patterson. Pandas in 9th. Jacob Smith in 8th with 7th, Luke Page. Cliff Ramjam Potter in 6th, our top 5. Matteo Manelli 4th, Jeff Price, our podium runners. Jacob Fraser currently 3rd, Tim Nickel 2nd, and that man on our screens right now, Stephen Vargas, our current race leader. Coming up on that pit time, coming up on that lap 11, lap 12 mark. This is when some of the cars, well, a lot of the cars really started to pit and get some more fuel. Only 20% fuel in this race. So looks like a lot of them electing to stay out that one extra lap. We're about to start lap 12. Actually, nope, Stephen Varga, Tim Nickel looks like they're going into the pits. Who else is going to follow? Oh, Tim stayed out. Looks like everyone else staying out. Stephen Varga taking that lap 12 run. There's Panda Stuart Patterson in 9th. Looks like he's got lapped traffic behind him. David Jansen. Or Wade Georgeson, maybe. Oh. Throws that into the pits. There's Ash Rogers we saw at the tail end of that pit line. Was it Cole Brittingham? Nope. I thought Cole Brittingham and Wade Georgeson were going to go in, but nope, they are not. They are staying out. It's Tim Nickel, Jacob Fraser. Oh no, that's Stephen Varga, Wade Georgeson there, Cole Brittingham. So most of them are waiting that extra lap. It did seem to help. I don't think Vargs had to go back in for a second pit last race. So we'll have to wait and see. But everyone pitting a lap later than they had prior at least. Wade Georgeson in 9th. Stephen Varga up ahead of him. Brock Clark as well. Looks like the entire top 6 currently in the pits. Luke Page, Ramjam Potter, Matteo Manelli, Jeff Price, Jacob Fraser, Tim Nickel. These boys about 30 seconds out from them. So I don't think they'll catch up to all of the pit lane. But we'll have to wait and see because they are coming up on it fast. Oh, a couple of the guys, Cole Brittingham and Wade Georgeson, they're going into the pits. But Brock Clark, Stephen Varga. Oh, look out, Stuart Patterson spinning out there. Has Brock been to the pits? Is Brock actually in our race lead? Let's have a look here. No, he hasn't pit. Damn it. Oh, another coffee. Thank you. All right, this is dangerous. I've got my 3rd coffee for the broadcast. Broadcast has been active for an hour and 25, so that's what, a coffee every 30 minutes. We've lost our 5th driver, Panda, unfortunately for Iridium Sim Sports, has popped it on the truck. He's going to lock in 15th, Stuart Patterson. Only 14 cars remain with about 14 laps to go. Is it Brock Clark? I think he's going to have to go into the pits very soon, surely. No, he's staying out, but Stephen Varga's going to race on past him into first. That's going to push Brock back to 2nd, but I'm just not sure. What are you thinking, Brock? What's the process? What's the thought behind that? Well, big crash there for Cliff Potter in 8th. Brock Clark, there he goes on into the pits, and there's a number of cars, the top 10, 6 to 10, but only about 30 seconds behind him, so a lot of those guys will close that gap down. That's going to push him back down to more around the Ash Rogers spot, around that 11th to 13th. Looks like we have lost our sixth driver there, David Jansen, in 14th. Last lap has popped the car on the truck as well. Just 13 guys remain. Ram Jam Potter there. Still in 8th spot. Did have a bit of a crash. You can see that there. No front end. Well, he's got a front end, but no cosmetic front end there. We can see the radiator of the engine. The grille is exposed. But he's held on to 8th spot. Ethan Curran, the sole Iridium Sim Sports driver, still in this race. Back there in 9th with Ash Rogers and Brock Clark behind them. Wade Georgeson and Cole Brittingham as well. How's everyone's weekend been? Hope it was fun and safe. Stephen Barker, about a 2.5 second lead over teammate Tim Nickel. Jacob Fraser back there in 3rd with Jeff Price, Mateo Manelli 4th and 5th. Luke Page, Jacob Smith, Ram Jam Potter, Ethan Curran, and Ash Rogers, the 6 to 10. Brock Clark, Wade Georgeson, and Cole Brittingham round out the remainder of this 13 car field with about 10 laps to go before we wrap up this race broadcast. Not a lot of racing time left, about 10 minutes. Piggy me, excuse me. Burp there. Just read the channel by when's this, the Bob Show? Oh, so the Bob Show, hey Riken, in Twitch chat, the Bob Show, that was a 2024 thing that I've apparently never bothered to update. We were going to bring it back mid-2025. There are a lot of past shows on the channel, but basically it was just a bit of an hour and a half long podcast sort of situation where we sat down and talked about the week prior in iRacing and all the different leagues I was working with. And we would interview drivers and get their thoughts on certain topics in the iRacing sort of sim space. And yeah, I think it ran for about 10 episodes, 11 episodes, maybe. But I was just the on-air talent. There was a guy I worked with that was just absolutely brilliant. But just life. He couldn't spend his time creating a show, producing and writing a show for me every week. He had his own life things to deal with. So yeah, so it was a short-lived, fun little project that we had for a while. There were talks of reviving it as more of an general opinion piece, but like everything I want to do, or I've thought about trying to set up, I know people that already do it, and they do it well. So for example, a friend of mine's channel, Wise Fools, a couple of guys that been on hiatus for a little bit, but same deal, like they just have a few topics they talk about, share opinions, the chat, get involved. And yeah, it was sort of a similar thing. Mine was more obviously iRacing slanted, but yeah, it's just it was hard to keep it running without me actually inputting any. Well, look out, That is a Cliff Potter there. Lost a bit of control. We saw him hit the ripple strip. And we know that if you turn the wheels a little bit erratically with these things, they're not aerodynamic at all. So they will get loose. Got here, Carl Brittingham. No, Jacob. Actually, that is Carl Brittingham, but here's a lap down. Stephen Varga back there behind him. Stephen's in 7th, Carl Brittingham 12th. Doesn't look like Carl's holding up Steve. Stephen too much. Just felt weird calling him Steve as they come around. Actually, while we come around and start the next lap, let's Oh, Stephen Varga's not our race leader. He's actually back there in 7th, Bob. I was going to say we'll jump up and we'll do a lap, but Tim Nickel, not quite there yet, so we'll jump back to him. So the 23 is our race leader, Jacob Fraser 2nd, Matteo Manelli 3rd, Jeff Price and Luke Page in 4th and 5th. Let's just have another look at those pit laps and just see if there's going to be any concerns there. I think there might be. I think there's going to be a couple of guys. There we go. Oh, no, I thought Tim was going back into the pits already. But yeah, I think there's going to be a few guys that are going to need to revisit the pits. Where is the 23? Oh, I've missed it already. He's already started the next lap. God, I'm an idiot. Georgeson there. Just up ahead of him, the blue and the yellow Mitre 10 car, Brock Clark. 10 car, the Mitre 10 sponsored machine in 10th place. Is that third coffee kicking in time dilation effect? Yeah, I think it is. I think it's. I can see music and hear colours at the moment. So it's quite interesting. Plus, I've got a blue V that I've been sipping on as well. It's like crazy. Who needs acid when you've got energy drinks and caffeine? Speaking of which, the Rockstar energy drink machine up against the Gamer Fuel machine. We've got the battle of the energy drinks going on. Jacob Fraser and Ethan Curran, currently the Rockstar machine, gets himself up into that 7th position. Ethan's going to fall back to 8th. Tim Nichols had to go in to the pits. He's fallen back to 5th. Jacob Smith in there currently as well. He's dropping down that field. Matteo Manelli, our new race leader, actually, the 48 machine. He's got the 62 of Jeff Price coming up on him. Jeff Price did win the Consi, so we do know he's capable of sneaking out a finish. A number of other cars all complete their second stop. 20% fuel maximum for the cars today, so that's proven another challenge for them. All right, here comes the 48, Bob. Let's get over there. 48's going into the pits. Okay. What about Luke Page? What are you going to do, son? Are you going to go into the pits or are you staying out? Luke Page, debut race here tonight. He has headed to the right-hand side of the track. He is slowing it down. What about you, Stephen Varga? Are you going to be the original one? I was going to sort of join on the cockpit. Now it looks like he's going in the pits as well. Tim, no, he's not. He's staying out. So let's do a quick minute lap with Stephen Varga. Looks like we're back to the original sort of how we started the Heat 1 night. Stephen Varga, Tim Nicol, teammates 1 and 2 right now. Jacob Fraser in third, Matteo Minelli fourth, Jeff Price the top 5 car. As he hits turn 12 for that start finish line. Lap 24, just 3 more laps to come. Jump back to 8th spot. There's Jacob Smith in 9th behind Wade Georgeson, who's our 8th place driver. Up ahead of him, it looks like that is actually David Jansen, lap down. Brock Clark also ahead of them in 7th place. Battle here, Jacob Smith there, Wade Georgeson. No, that's not Wade Georgeson ahead of him, is it? I think it is. Yeah, Wade Georgeson in the 707 machine. Jacob Smith, 21 Phantom machine behind him. That looks like it is David Jansen, a lap down behind them. The 08 car. We're about to start lap 25, just a few more laps to go. Wade Georgeson, I think Ethan Curran. Yeah, Ethan Curran is black flag though, so he might be just doing a drive-through. Up the front here, 3rd and 4th are battling it out. Jacob Fraser and Matteo Minelli. Looks like David Jansen back out on the track. Oh yeah, I've mentioned him a few times. I didn't realize because he retired earlier. So I was a little confused, but back out on the track, obviously maybe a power issue or a sim issue. But he is back with us in racing, so that is good to see. Well, the Rockstar car might have locked it up a little bit there. That's allowed Matteo Minelli to move past Jacob Fraser and jump up into the 3rd spot, the podium finishing position, pushing Jacob back to 4th. A good 15 seconds behind 2nd and 1st place of Tim Nicol and Stephen Varga, Quantum Peggy's Racing collective. So it looks like it'll be the 3rd, 4th and 5th place battle for now. Oh, what flag lap? That was quick. These laps are so quick here. We'll jump up with old Vargs and watch him see out his final lap. Drank so much coffee, I could see fuel calculations and angles and Pythagoras theorems and stuff on my screen. Looks like Ram Jam and Wade Jam. I was going to say Ram Jam and Wade Jam. Wade Georgeson and Ram Jam Potter both in the pits. David Jansen 8 laps down, so he's not going to be able to get past Wade Georgeson's 12th place finish there. That'll lock Wade Georgeson's finish in. So Cole Brittingham, Ash Rogers, Ethan Curran also a lap down. So just 8 cars still on the lead lap. 51 seconds separates 8th and 1st. as Stephen Varga gets that start-finish line checkered flag and will take out at least one of the heat races here tonight. Teammate Tim Nichols scored the win in this first one. As we watch all the rest of the cars get their start-finish line run. Just await the results. All right, I think that is it. Let's have a quick look over on my side of the screens. Feature results are available. Let's get those ones up. Vinicius Collier in 19th. Oh, no. I said he was in 19th, but it says 18th there. He was 19th. Ben Mead finished in 19th, Vinicius in 18th, 17th, Jade Andrews. Sam Tucker finished in 16th. Iridium Simsport, Stuart Patterson, Panda in 15th. Cliff Ramjam Potter for Aussie Sim Racing 14th, David Jansen 13th, Aussie Sim Racing's Wade Georgeson in 12th, Cole Brigham 11th, Track Limit Racing's Ash AJ Rogers in 10th, Iridium Sim Sports Ethan Curran in 9th, Jacob Smith 8th, Brock Clark finished 7th, Luke Page 6th, 5th, Jacob Fraser 4th, Jeff Price our top 3. Matteo Minelli in 3rd, Quantum Racing though got 2nd and 1st, Tim Nickel for 2nd, and our points leader, Stephen Varga, is going to keep that points lead ticking over with 3 more races to go in the championship with a win here tonight. Well, that wraps up our racing night. Let's have a quick look at something over here. As I say, I will be back tomorrow morning, 9:45 Australian, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday mornings for the Knuckleheads iRacing League. So if you do want to come and check us out, then definitely do so. It's some great dirt track racing. A bit of an American League. Brock P7, not bad. Yeah, look, I wish he'd gone into pits a lap earlier or two. Staying out, I think, hurt you. But other than that, good race, man. Good race. Good race. All right, look, we're going to jump on over to the Twitch side of things. And we're just going to raid out to one of my Twitch compadres, as is accustomed on a Sunday night. Who have we got? What have we got going on? Looks like Twisted's playing some Assassin's Creed. She seems to be a popular one that we like to raid out to. So we'll do that. Thank you so much for coming out. Thank you, Shrubs. Actually, let me just type, because I can't type and spell. I'm not going to hit enter just yet, but we'll get back over to this screen over here. If he went early, he wouldn't have been able to do it once. Oh, okay. All right, that was there you go. That's what I said. I said he's the man on the track. He knows what he's doing. But yeah, big shout out to Brock, Hell Reaper, Devour Worm, Riken, Shrubs was here, Ben Mead. Who else did we have? We had Tree Rex for Iridium Sim Sports. Lolly, thank you for the like as well. All right, guys and girls, we're going to raid out to Twisted. So thank you guys so much for coming out and watching. Love you all. My name's Bob. See you soon.